The boy's back. Dame. Back again. Here to touch on another topic. Hopefully to raise some dialogue. Get some conversation, some argumentation going on. Get your opinion and your perspective as long as it's without malice or harm or hate. As long as it's with good intent, I'm willing to hear what you got to say, and I hope you reciprocate it. I hope you're willing to hear what I got to say. This topic, I took a while to touch on it. I didn't instantly jump on it because I wanted to give my perspective in a more concise, more clear manner than just hopping on a video just because it came out and just rambling my first instinctive thoughts. Now, I wanted to critically think about the situation and what was going on because it looked kind of confusing. The situation I'm talking about, which is a subscriber's request, Raul, shout out to you, new subscriber, doing his thing. But it's the confrontation between the native people, the indigenous people of America, as they call themselves, against the Catholic high school students of Kentucky, the Make America Great Again supporters, as they show with the symbol of the hat, the red hat, Make America Great Again hat. And what I thought about the situation, whether it was something productive or counterproductive or just my whole take. And I got a few things to talk about in that situation. For one, when you have instances like this, the objective for me should be good dialogue. Even if you have difference in beliefs. Obviously, there's a difference in beliefs. Make America Great Again, people usually signify people that believe this land is their land. And immigrants or people of color or Native Americans essentially lost their land and it's not theirs. They don't own rights to it. Whereas the natives think this is their land. We're the original people. And then, side note, because the media skewed the perspective and only showed those two parties, but there was a third party. We talk about members of the Black Hebrew Israelites. And they came for discord with their own beliefs as well. And this is what one of the main points I want to get at with this subject is, when you have disagreements and you have a world full of people with different beliefs, if you want to try to unify, it's best to not approach it with that much discord. But this is what I deducted. Everybody there had strong beliefs in what they believed. So there was no budging from pretty much anybody, especially the Hebrew Israelites. They got to shouting expletives to the white folks, calling them crackers, this and that and the third. And if you want to be heard, I don't think it's wise to be like, hey, cracker, hear me out. Or you dirty, whatever the shit they were saying. I think that was foul play. I don't think it was there to cause good dialogue, but there to raise discord. That's just the perspective of the third party they didn't show, the Black Hebrew Israelites. That was represented in that video. I'm not saying all of them are like that, or all of any of the MAGA supporters, or all of the natives conducted in the way. We only got the select few. This is my take. As far as the guy who beat the drum, former, I think he was in the military. I think he was a former military person who served, but I didn't have gripe with his conduct after I read the backstory. He said he saw the Black Hebrew Israelites and the Make America Great Again people having discord, which was apparent for me too when I saw the other videos. There's a few videos on it. They only showed the 2 minutes of the guy beating the drum in the kid's face and the kid not letting them navigate. We'll talk about that later. But before that, it was the Black Hebrew Israelites exercising their free speech to say what they believe life is and who other people around are. And they were blurting a lot of shit out that would cause discord. So the Make America Great Again supporters kind of rallied their troops, got a lot of people hovered around and made them even more of a scene. So it was chaotic, if you ask me. There was no chance for productive dialogue. So we got that. The natives' position from that point was to break up the divide. Okay, I'm going to do my ritualistic shit and try to diffuse the situation somehow. Just walk through, separate it somehow. And while he was doing it, one of the kids abruptly got in front of him and wouldn't let him get through. and he was kind of just staring at him, while tens and hundreds maybe of kids were in the back mimicking the practice that the native was performing. Now, in regards to that, those people, shame on you. 14, 15, 16-year-olds though. So they've yet to even conceive thoughts on their own. They've inherited thoughts from tradition, which is why they have strong political stances at such a young age, is because their parents have those strong political stance. So the treatment for that, I think it was cringeworthy, to say the least. It's like, come on, respect. If you can't even respect your elderly, just have respect for someone as a human being. He's doing his practice. You all came together here on different events. Their event was for the pro-life. His event was to celebrate indigenous peoples. And the Black Israelites seemingly knew people were going to be there at the event, so they exercised their free speech to talk biblical references, spew out what they believe is the truth based on what they learned. Side note to that, everybody thinks they know the truth. We will never have good dialogue if you think you come into this argument already knowing the truth, actually what's going on. No, you don't. Your knowledge is subjective. So try to get someone else's subjective truth as well. Because we, on the planet, we're here together. We have to work together, essentially. Somewhat, one way or another. We either work in harmony or discord. It's for us to choose. And this incident just showed a lot of discord. Another topic. The kids again. The hat. The hat is symbolic. This is why people have discord with the hat. It's you have to interpret words. And words are symbols. So we're talking about symbiotics. So looking at the meaning of words. And make America great. You talk about what great means. Joyful, pleasurable, freedom. That's great in my perspective. So when you talk about again, that means this freedom, this joy was already an occurring theme. It's reoccurring. So when you say make America great again, people like me, most likely, always exceptions, won't abide by it, because from our definition of great again, it wouldn't have oppressive methods. There's not a time in which we're going to deem it great. So there's already a discord in your symbol. It's parallel to the Confederate flag, which is right above wearing a Klan hat. In perspective, because ideologically, politically, they all have the same aligned beliefs. Direct parallel. Come from slave owners. So I think those kids, unfortunately, are misled within a culture. If I talk about that culture, Covington High School already had blackface at their basketball games. Kentucky, one of the last states to be a slave state. The last state, I believe. Stopped it at 1865, had it from like early 1600s. So for over 240 years, slavery was allowed. We were deemed less than in Kentucky for certain. And then 150 years later, you think it's not going to be reflective today? So my opinion on the kids, they come from a culture of racism. A culture of make America great again, wear the Confederate flag. He doesn't belong in this area. So that's just, to me, the whole video signified America, because we're what is it called? We're a mixed batch of people. It's all type of cultures, diverse as shit. But everybody has their beliefs on what they believe is right. So when we come together, it's only conflict and discord. It's never progressive dialogue. And some don't want it. I don't think the Hebrew Israelites wanted progressive dialogue. I don't think them kids were even adept to handle progressive dialogue. They just 14, 15, 16 grew up on beliefs. That's the way life is. That's the only thing they were taught. So, yeah, man. Anything else? Parents should be liable for those kids, but a lot of those parents were probably happy at their engagements. It looks symbolic when you see them mocking the culture of how white kids back in the day would mock the black person walking to a first-time integrated school and spit on them, clown them. So it looked reflective of racism. That's just my thoughts. Well, I don't know yours, but the kids look reflective of 1940 heckling a person of color just because they outnumber them and they feel superior. Just my thoughts. The natives' conduct to me seemed cool. It seemed like they were looking for dialogue and kind of being attacked by multiple angles. I heard the Israelites say, y'all crackers too with all this, and then they ritual got mocked. I feel like they were on the defense. So if anybody's conduct to me seemed appropriate, if there is appropriate conduct, it was them. But that's all the topics I got. That's my general theme of it is America has divide, and we shown it. And there will be no positive dialogue if everybody's coming in with the strongest of strong beliefs. We will never get anywhere with that mechanism. Who was right, who was wrong, that's up for y'all to interpret. I told you my opinions on everybody. The mega supporters, the black Israelites, both in the wrong to me, the way they approached the situation. The natives felt like they was on the defense. Nothing too wrong with that. But overall, it was discord everywhere. Man, it's a crazy world out here. Want to know your thoughts on the video. Who was in the right, who was in the wrong to you. Whether or not what you believe. Who had good intent. It's your boy Dane. Peace.